Hello and welcome to week 3 of February 2024 Coffee and Card. I'm Linda from lindaspapercraft.co.uk, and this week we're making a little fun fold. It's called a joy fold. We've had fun making this one. This is my second attempt at videoing because an alarm went off in the house and the phone stopped videoing and I didn't realise it had, and so I'm having to video it again. So thank you to Natalie, one of my downloads, who's let me have another piece of this because I didn't have enough of this design to make another card. So she's given me a little 10 by 10 square so that I can. So thank you, Natalie. Right, so here we go, and I'm going to show you how to make this flower. So what I've done is I've used the wings. So I've used 5 sets of wings and I've punched them out, glued them onto a circle and made a flower. How cute is that? Now, I saw this on Facebook and I cannot for the life of me find it again. So it was one of those that, oh, that's a good idea, carry on scrolling, and then who was it? So really sorry, I can't credit you. If it was you, let me know and I will credit you in the description below. But I thought it was such a good idea. I'm just showing the versatility of the set. You know, it doesn't have to just be bees with wings, it can be flowers too. So right, so let's get started. So you've got everything you need in your kit, as usual, apart from glue and stuff and the stamps you're going to use. So put that to one side. So this here is the little detail on the flower here. Now that's from the Paper Florist dies, and it's just one of the flowers, or even one of the centres of one of the bigger flowers. So really a fabulous set of dies. And they're standalone dies, so they're sort of hidden in the back of the catalogue. And I've got a little circle to go on the back of your flower, and then some petal pink. So it doesn't matter really what colour that is, I've just done it because I had loads of petal pink scraps. So a piece of petal pink for your wings, and then your designer series paper. And for the centre of the flower, I've just punched out one of the little bees out of this paper using a 3/4 inch punch, which is unfortunately now retired, but I think most of us have got a set of round punches or dies that would do that if you want to remake this card. So, and then that's going on there. This is from the Radiating Stitches dies, which is an online exclusive, still available, so if you have a look on there. So it's a set of 4 or 5, maybe 6 dies, all with this pattern of Radiating Stitches in different sizes. Then your bits for the inside, card base and envelope. Right, so I have used today Petal Pink and Sweet Sorbet. If you don't have the Petal Pink for the petals, then you could actually use Sweet Sorbet and get more of a contrast. You could use Calypso Coral, which is quite like the colour here, or you could use an embossing ink, which will give you self-coloured. They do take a little bit longer to dry to the embossing ink, so do be careful that you don't smudge them. And the other thing I'm using is, this is a Daffodil Delight light marker to colour in the centre of the flowers. Okay. Right, now I've coloured in dark, but the dark one is in a box for a class tomorrow, so I'm using light today. Okay, so we're going to start by making the flower. Give myself some room, and so as I say, we are just using this, and it punches out using the big heart here. So that big heart punches out that way. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my wings sort of at the same angle so I can get the 6 out of, or the 5 and a spare out of the same piece of paper. Okay, so I've got my Petal Pink that's looking scarily like it needs re-inking. So, I mean, my stamp heads get hammered. I do 4 classes a month in person, and each of them having sort of between 6 and I think I've got 11 coming next Friday. So these are in sale in Cheshire if anybody's interested. So my stamp pads get used a lot. So, and they last and last and last. So, which is why I know they're not the cheapest stamp pads on the market, but I do feel they're well worth the investment. I also find as well, because of the range of the colours, most of them go together. There's very few, they either contrast or tone. You know, there's very few colours I wouldn't put together, so it's quite nice. Gives you lots of flexibility. I've done 6. I've done a spare. Right. Okay, so let's punch these out. So, and I'm just going from this corner here, and that is 1. You do need to go a bit up from the edge. I mean, to be fair, if you haven't got a whole heart, it doesn't matter as long as you've got the detail. But, you know, leaving sort of 1/2 centimetre, you're going to get some extra little hearts. Not quite complete, unfortunately. So that you've got the whole heart, and then back on here, and again go working left to right so that your little heart's not punching out bits of your wings. That is 4, and that is 5. There we go. So I've made at least 3 of these flowers, so we've done lots of different ways of doing it in different orders, and I've actually found, well, the one I've not tried, but the one I think might work best is if we actually stick the wings to the back of the die cut circle rather than to the front of the circle, if that makes sense. Let's see. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just on the edge there, and I'm just going to pop it so we can still see the details of the wings, and it's sort of pointing to the centre of the circle because that's what petals tend to do. Okay, and then let's pop another one on there. So again, a little bit of glue. And I'm using the wet glue because it does give you a bit of wiggle room. Oops. Okay, so you don't want too much overlap, because if you've got too much overlap, you're going to end up with a gap. And not enough, and they're not all going to fit, so it is a bit of a fiddly. Okay. There we go, so that's not quite, you just try and get them sort of pointing into the centre, and that will give you a better flower. There we go. And then I've got room, just let's double check. 1. Yeah, and then that one's going to fit in there nicely. Yep. Okay. So. Oops, nearly do it on the front. There. Around a wee bit. And then I've got my little gap at the end there for this one. So just put that on. How cute is that? And how simple is that? It's a nice big daisy type flower. And there we go. I think that's actually probably the easiest way to do it. I'm quite happy with that. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue this onto the front. Anywho. There we go, and then I'm just going to strengthen the flower by gluing this on the back. Oops. There we go. And there we have our flower. So you could make loads of these. So I think it's just really cute. Right, so I'm just going to do a bit of stamping on here because I need my sentiment. So I'm now moving to the Sweet Sorbet, which I think those of you who are doing it, who've bought the kit, have got Sweet Sorbet. It is going end of April. Beginning of May, we will no longer have this colour. So if it's one you fancied and you haven't got it yet, you need to get it soon, because now they're at the stage where they will not be restocking. So when it's gone, it's gone. Maybe not quite, but soon. When it's gone, it's gone. Right, and it's earlier than this year normally. Normally it's the end of June, but they've moved the catalogue, so it is finishing at the end of April. And then I've put that away, but I still need it. So I've just taken this. So if I just put this together, but I'm not gluing it. Okay, I'm just getting my positioning, because what I don't want is the flowers to go under rather the sentiment. So now I've got my little flower stamp, and I've got this. So I've just positioned, and I really did just use it for the first flower. So I'm just going to stamp my first flower just there, and then I'm going to do a line of flowers from there, but we don't want to get ink on anything else, so I'll just pop those away, and just going to rotate them. So just randomly, really, stamping a flower, oops, across the front like that. Just one more, just tried a little bit of fun on the bottom of the card, and then I'm going to colour that in. And because I'm using a blend, because this is a water-based ink and the blend is alcohol, they won't blend with each other, so I'll get a nice clear centre. And as I say, I'm using Daffodil Delight. Any yellow would do, to be honest, at this stage. So just going to go in, colour those middles. Our red inks do take a little bit longer to dry, so that's why I'm trying to keep my fingers away from the flowers themselves. Right, let's get building. Okay, so I'll start with my sweet sorbet. It's funny, I always turn over the card to glue it, even if I don't need to, because this is the same on both sides. So, there we go. And pop this one. This one I do need to turn over to put glue in. And again, I am a big fan of wet glue. I think it stays stuck longer than snail does. And if somebody wants to keep this, which one would hope they did, because it's not thrown together, then you'd like it to stay together permanently. So, although the tape does last an awful long time, I keep examples of all the fun folds that I do, and I had one of those exploding box cards, and I keep them in a folder, and I took it out of the folder, it was literally in individual pieces. It's fine, I can still work out how to make it. So yes, I do recommend the wet glue. Also Wriggle Room. So it goes on there, and I've just left a very tiny little border on that. Okay, and then this is going to go here. So what I tend to do, so I've positioned that where I want it, height wise, and I'm just putting some glue on here, this edge, and then I need glue on this end here. It means if you do it this way, you're not going to get any glue on the card. It's not going to glue itself shut, which you really don't want it to do. Okay, so I'll pop that there. There we go, because you do want anything that's sort of hanging off, you want really well glued on. but you don't want to be gluing the card shut. So doing it that way means I have no glue on that edge there, but it is well adhered to the front of the card. And then I'm just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. So I hope you've enjoyed this. And I look forward to seeing you next week for week 4. So, and the week after for week 5. The joys of a leap year. There we go. So I'm just going to pop that on there, and there's the card complete. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And yeah, spot where I dropped it in the ink pad. So that's going to nursery for them to cut it up. So I shall see you soon. Bye.